Hello everyone, my name is Akin Agunbiade and you're welcome to episode 1 of the Blockbusters and Algorithm podcast. First of all, I should apologize for how long it has taken. A few months ago, I put out a trailer to this podcast and I think I promised that in a few weeks I release the first episode, and now I am just coming back in April to record this, and this should go live on the 1st of May. It has taken me a while to find my balance in the new year, plus work pressures, and well, a bit of laziness on my part, let me be honest. But we're here right now, and we're live, and this project is here to stay. I hope to publish episodes every week, probably on Wednesdays most likely, and the way we are going to do is that we are going to have sets of episodes dedicated to certain movies. So for instance now, episodes 1 to episode 6 or 7 will be focused on the movie M3GAN. Then the next episodes will be able to have maybe 4 or 5 episodes just like that, focused on certain movies or songs that we are going to be exploring, using them to explore and explain artificial intelligence. So with that established, let me get right into episode 1. Now, episodes 1 to 7 are going to be exploring the movie M3GAN. We're going to be unraveling the movie M3GAN. And what I'm going to be doing in this episode, I'll be summarizing the key plot points of M3GAN and exploring the role of AI in this movie and the key concept of AI in this movie. Now, what's M3GAN? This is a movie that came out sometime in 2023 or 2022, I think. And it focuses on 3 main characters. M3GAN. Now, M3GAN in this movie is not spelled like the name. It's pronounced like the name you have in mind, M-E-G-A-N. M3GAN. But the spelling of M3GAN in this movie is M3, like the number 3, G-A-N. Because it's supposed to be like a model 3 robots. There are 3 main characters in this movie: M3GAN, Cady, and Gemma. Now, Cady, who is played by Violet McGraw, she's a child actress. She loses her parents in a car accident in the opening scenes of the movie. Now, her aunt from her mother's side, Gemma is played by Allison Williams, becomes a legal guardian because she doesn't have any other person who can take her. And at this point, she's at a loss about how to properly parent. She is a robotics engineer at a toy company known as Funky. We would consider Funky in future episodes of the podcast. Now, Funky is spelled F-U-N-K-I. And with some of our colleagues, I've been working on a prototype of a new kind of toy, M3GAN. Remember, M3GAN, pronounced M3GAN. Now, M3GAN is played by Amy Donald. Now, this is another child actress, but the voice, if you've seen the movie, the voice you heard was Jenna Davis. So the actress who was doing all the movements in the movie playing M3GAN was Amy Donald, but the voice that was speaking anytime M3GAN spoke was another person. That was Jenna Davis. Back to the Gemma in the movie. Now, she realizes that this toy that she developed, that she and her colleagues have developed, M3GAN, can serve as a great support system for her niece and take the burden off her of parenting, because she doesn't have, she has her life settled, or the goal she's pursuing in her life, and she doesn't have the time to be a parent for her niece. She doesn't have the time to play that role. M3GAN could really help her out with that, and she's under pressure from her boss to deliver a new line of toys that the company can bring to market to stave off their competition. Her boss is played by Ronnie Cheng, if you're familiar with the comedian. He's a comedian and actor. I think if you've seen, the first time I saw him was in a Crazy Rich Asians, where he was this brother who was always trying to project a rich man lifestyle. Look, a lot of rich guys in Crazy Rich Asians. What am I saying? All of them were rich people in Crazy Rich Asians. He was one who was asking the funny jokes about, what family are you from? Are you the spaghetti chains or one of those guys like that? But that's the guy who plays her boss, Ronnie Cheng. So Gemma now tries to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Get her niece a great playmate / support system / toy, and also test the doll in the real world in preparation for a wider market launch. Everything is going smoothly until Cady becomes quite dependent on M3GAN, and M3GAN's instructions are updated to include protecting Cady from anything that will affect her. Now, I'm just giving a basic overview at this point. In future episodes, I'm going to properly explain the implications of these things, like testing the doll in the real world without any kind of in-house testing, and also telling M3GAN to protect Cady at any costs. These things have real implications for how M3GAN works, and we're going to explore this in future episodes. M3GAN takes these instructions to protect Cady from anything that will affect her, quite literally, literally protect her from anything that will affect her. As the movie goes on, she goes on a killing spree. She kills a dog, she kills the owner of that dog, she kills a young boy or not that she kills him, but she chases a young boy to the point that the boy jumps into a moving truck, kills Gemma's boss. It's crazy. Basically turns into like a psychopathic robot. All in a bid to achieve our objective, protecting Cady. Gemma realizes that what has happened, and she tries to shut down M3GAN while figuring out what went wrong. But M3GAN is able to bypass her kill switch. At a point, she almost goes as far as trying to kill Gemma and Cady. Honestly, I can't do justice to this movie because it was a really great movie, I have to say that. But you just have to see it to believe it if you have not seen it already. Let's take a dive in at this point, and I'm going to focus on some specific plot points to explain the AI connections in this movie. So first off, what is the central role of AI in M3GAN, in the storyline of this movie? Now, AI in this movie is what drives M3GAN. Now, we see it in M3GAN's ability to simulate human facial expressions on command, like sadness and confusion. In practice, developing an AI system that can simulate facial gestures usually involves deep learning, trained on real images of humans expressing different facial gestures. Now, aside from M3GAN, another robot is featured in the movie, Bruce. Unlike M3GAN, Bruce doesn't have a human form. Bruce was developed by Gemma as a college project. So you can think of it as like an early prototype of M3GAN. You know, like maybe in your final year, you write like a project, you write a long essay if you have a law background, and then later on in life when you're working, you then take that project that you worked on while in school and you improve on it. So that's what Bruce is to M3GAN in that sense. Now, even in the movie, Bruce was critical in killing M3GAN at the end of the movie. Bruce is activated and operated using electric gloves. Now, there's a difference between how he and M3GAN works. To activate Bruce, you have to wear an electric glove and like hit the fist together and Bruce comes on. M3GAN, on the other hand, is activated by way of voice command. When you wear the electric gloves that activate Bruce, whatever gestures you make with your hand, Bruce will replicate it. So if I were waving my hand and I was wearing that glove, Bruce would also wave his own hand. If I was, let's say, trying to pick up something, Bruce will also try to pick up something. That's how Bruce works. In practice, this is something that exists in real life. Now, this is achieved with the use of motion sensors on gloves and cameras on the robot to recognize the hand gestures. For the robot to be able to recognize and replicate those human gestures, it relies on computer vision. Now, computer vision is a component of machine learning which is likely trained on a large data set of images and videos of human gestures. Bruce is fitted with radar, so it can detect surfaces and it has a mass spectrometer. I'm just basically saying what we were told in the movie. It's told that he has a mass spectrometer for detecting chemical compounds in the air. So spectrometers generally are used to detect chemical compounds in the air. So in theory, it works like the way our nose works. So the way your nose can detect smoke, detect where there's fumes and all of that. So spectrometers work like that for robotic systems. So in theory, Bruce should be able to smell, although we never see this feature. This feature was never like brought to life or tested or featured in the movie. What is the concept of AI in the context of the movie? Now, the key role of AI in this movie, to my mind, if you've seen it, you probably have a different perspective, but to my mind, I feel like the writers wanted to show us the ethics of deploying AI in childcare, and the importance of safeguards before deploying certain AI systems in the real world. Because, like I said, Gemma wanted to kill two birds with one stone. Have a robot to help her with taking care of her littleness, and also she did not test this thing. She just basically took the robot from the laboratory and brought it to her house to start interacting with Gemma. There was no testing of how will this thing interact with the real world. So those are like the two big issues for me in this movie. AI in childcare and the importance of safeguards before you bring some certain AI systems into the real world. In today's world, we live in a really automated 21st century where we are really comfortable with outsourcing and augmenting our daily routine with AI-driven tools. So this movie seems to probe the question, what if AI was used to support parenting? What could be the upsides? Because there are upsides to it. What are the downsides? The fact that the movie was able to pass this message within the horror genre and the subgenre of haunted dolls without being cliche, because if you've seen haunted dolls movie like Chucky or Goosebumps, I don't like movies about haunted dolls. I watch horror movies. I watch horror movies of the dead coming to life, Catholic-themed horror movies, but I draw the line at haunted dolls. I don't know why, I can't explain, but anything haunted dolls, I run away from it. But somehow I could watch M3GAN, and I wasn't that okay. It was scary, but it didn't trigger me the way typical haunted dolls movie would have triggered me. And I find that really, really impressive. Honestly, I really have to give it to Blue Mouse Productions for pulling that off. That's all for this episode. The next episode I'm going to be exploring comparing the AI in M3GAN and real world artificial intelligence. So stay tuned. Please subscribe to this episode, subscribe to this podcast wherever you find it. You can follow me on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter. I am at Akin_Agunbiade. I'll put links to that in the show notes. On LinkedIn, you can find me at Akin Agunbiade. I also put a link to that in the show notes. And also, I hope that towards episode 6 or 7 to feature some listeners on the podcast. So if you have any thoughts about the movie or about AI in general, please drop them as comments in the show note, wherever you find. If you listen to this podcast on an app like Spotify that allows you to give feedback, or hit me up on social media, LinkedIn, Twitter. It's X now. Sorry, it's X. I've been off Twitter for a while, so I'm a bit behind. So it's X now. They call it X now. Or LinkedIn. Tell me what you think, and if you're down for it, I could feature you in episode 7 of the podcast. So thank you and have a blessed day. Goodbye.